in one of those times when I brought my results home that I passed Poly Yoruba and Agric, I could remember that one of my siblings was asking me if I want to be an herbalist. I have always known myself to be a dullard.
I want to call the attention of the world towards that thing that they look as imperfect.
And I think clarity is all about knowing what you want and going after it.
True self.
I want to help 10 million people communicate their big
Think
ideas.
very shallow. You think that the entire stuff I'm getting from this particular business is profit.
We feel seen, we feel valued.
And the marketing is done perfectly well, and sales is easier.
What exactly do you wish happens on earth because she exists? Welcome to the Clarity Podcast, where we'll be unveiling the mystery of clear communication and branding. I am Fajoby David, your host, and today we'll be starting with a story. My story. You see, I have not always had it the best when it comes to clear understanding about my purpose and what I should do part-time, especially when it comes to my career. And I know that a lot of you guys watching or listening right now have the same challenge too as well. Today on the Clarity Podcast, we'll be addressing that in a premium way. We'll be checking and balancing the right way to get clarity and communicate that big idea that you have that the world is waiting to see or hear about. Today, I'll be sharing my journey because it is the burning desire that led me to the vision of helping millions of brands and personalities to gain clarity and communicate their big ideas. Today, it's all about clarity that is going to help you have a clear pathway to express that your burning desire. Let me start with the fact that I have always known myself to be a dullard because I really didn't do well in my secondary school days. In fact, in one of those times when I brought my results home that I passed Poly Yoruba and Agric, I could remember that one of my siblings was asking me if I want to be an herbalist because I passed Poly Yoruba and Agric. I remember my parents saying to me, "We know you're not a dullard." You know, even though they were trying to console me, I felt so bad that I wasn't able to do well in school. I was a divergent among my friends and my peers too as well. Until I met a few set of people. This set of people were my friends who came all the way from South Africa to Nigeria then. And on their arrival to Nigeria, they had a different mindset. They wanted to create robots. They wanted to create spaceships. They had wild dreams that resonated with me. And I spent days and days and days and days going to this friend's house because they happened to attend the same school that I attended at that time too as well when they came to Nigeria. We had a lot of vision. We wanted to go to the moon. We want to go to different planets. As young people, our dreams were wild. We started with contributing a lot of our money for food, and we were planning to create robots and spaceships. Of course, it didn't work out, but that changed my mindset. That made me see life in a different way. It brought me to the standpoint of creativity, and that is where my creative journey started from. Then I started understanding that it is not just about the academic side. There is always a creative side too as well. I journeyed in the aspect of the creative industry or the creative sense. Some of this, my friends, went into graphic design. Some of them went into electrical designs and all of these things. And so did I too, because it resonated with me. I found so much passion in creating amazing visuals, and a lot of people started loving me because of that. Then I discovered it is not because I am dull. It is because I was not in my right habitat. I am a born creative. It does not mean I shouldn't do well in my academics, but I was not just so interested. In fact, my parents would always ask me those times that I should read and read and read and read. All I could see those times was I was being forced to read. Until a few years ago, when I got into the higher institution and I discovered that I really just want to read so much right now. I could say right now that in my circle, I would be the one who reads the most. Not just because I want to be better than every other person, but because I have so much thirst for knowledge that I am really interested in. And I think that's the same thing with you. Most of us just give ourselves so much hard time in things that really don't interest us. And that can be your situation right now. I think that what clarity actually is you having a burning desire and going after it. Most of us have found ourselves in situations that we really don't want to be, but maybe because of the situation of life or where we are or our social circumstance or our circle, we just do things that we really don't want to do. And I think clarity is all about knowing what you want and going after it. Clarity is you knowing the path that you want to go and going after it. I think clarity is actually choosing something that you want to give to life and going after it. I believe clarity is originality. It is you embodying your true self. It is you being curious about yourself and expressing yourself. And I think that is what has helped me over the years. To be able to understand myself and express myself. I started with graphic design. I moved into strategy and did a lot of amazing projects. I became clear and I said, yes, I want to help a lot of people. I want to help 10 million people communicate their big ideas. That's how clear I am. It has a number. It has who I want to help. I understand the vision. I understand the purpose. And I used to tell my friends that once I'm able to help 10 million brands communicate their big ideas, I am done. Of course, I want to do a lot of amazing things that is going to live and exceed my lifetime. But yes, I want to help 10 million brands communicate their big ideas. And I know that you too want to do something amazing for this world and for yourself, for your family. You want to be known for something. You want to be the Steve Jobs of your generation. You want to be the Albert Einstein, the Elon Musk of your generation. The only way to do that is to have clarity. And that is what the Clarity Podcast is about. See, in every of these episodes, we'll be bringing one or two people that have been able to have clarity to an extent, being able to choose a career to an extent, or do something to an extent. I'll be sharing their story. See, if you are able to actually choose something and do it consistently, you are clear. You have clarity. All you have to just do is get clearer. The extent of our clarity is what gives us the ability to take the next step. The extent of our clarity is what gives us the ability to take the next step. Most of us go through stress in our daily life just because we are indecisive of what next to do. And once you are clear on your destination, all you have to just ask is what I am about to do right now. Is it going to get me to where I'm going to? Clarity. I ask this question most times to a lot of people. I ask them, what exactly do you wish happens on earth because you exist? If you can answer that question, it means you have clarity. Clarity is everything that you need to actually go after what you want. Most of us know that, yes, we are meant for something great, something amazing, something that exceeds us, but we just don't know what steps to take. The problem is clarity. And in this podcast, called the Clarity Podcast, I would share with you how to rightly identify purpose and how to communicate that purpose. Because one thing is sure, if you have something amazing for this world and you can't communicate, it's just going to be inside you. But our extent of communicating that big ideas of ours is the extent at which this world will accept it. So in this Clarity Podcast, we'll be sharing and diving into how to create a brand that can express itself. Because you are a brand, I am a brand. It's not just businesses that are brands. You are a brand. You're a personal brand. You can have a business, you have to build a brand around it. You have to have a purpose, you have to have a vision, you have to have a mission, you have to have a voice, you have to have a personality, just like you personally have a personality. Your brand needs a personality. And in Clarity Podcast here, we'll be discussing everything you need to do to communicate well or communicate your big ideas in order to achieve that purpose of yours. I know you are meant for something amazing, something great, something beyond this world, something that when you are out of this world, we'll still talk about you. And that's what Clarity Podcast is about. Clarity Podcast will help you communicate that big idea. It's going to give you a pathway. It's going to give you clear understanding of the pathway to take in order to communicate that big idea. You're a brand that its voice needs to be heard. And with Clarity Podcast, you'll be clear enough to express yourself and take that pathway with so much strength and confidence. I'm Fajoby David, and welcome to the first episode of the Clarity Podcast.